Hi there, and happy Monday. Of course, now my throat is dry. So, a lot has happened in the last week and a half or so. So it's hard to imagine that a week and a half ago, I was just holding stamp camp here in my home. And it seems like that was like a month or two ago, and got the call from hospice that my father-in-law was declining rapidly. And so I'd let my husband know, his last day on earth was the very next day, Friday, and we were all able, my husband and I and all of our kids and grandkids were able to spend some time with him Friday, and he was 93 years old, so not that it wasn't unexpected at all. It was a blessing. And then my husband is one of 7, so all 7 were able to go from where they were across the United States and wherever, and be with him, and they made it in time to be with him Friday evening as he passed. And so then we took off shortly after that to go up north for 4 days, because my husband had a board retreat up on Gull Lake in the middle of Minnesota. So we did that for 4 days, came home, and then the very next day I was a vendor at a craft retreat. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and yes, there was visitation Friday, funeral Saturday, and so some of you were even wondering, did I draw for that drawing that I was supposed to in the middle of the week? That just kind of went, not really over my head or whatever. I knew it, I just could not squeeze it in and such. So I slept really well last night and even the night before finally, and now my room looks really clean, you guys. I had a great retreat. I got some things accomplished, mostly kits, but that was fun to put together and show people what are in the kits, because they always look so better, so much better. And actually, I should show you guys. I know for a while there, I would show a kit that I'd recently done in the beginning of my live, and I should do that again sometime too, so that you can see what kind of they're made out of and just the quality and everything too, because they really have up their game. And let's see what else. Yeah, so Donna Steele won the Swirls of Magic embossing folder that I had. That my husband picked it, and he I had crunched up the paper. I had written out I could copy and paste the likes, which I didn't know if I could do that very well, and then I just enlarged it and copied and pasted it. So those are all blue because that's just how the program did it. And then I typed by hand all the comments, just not the comments, but who commented, in black. So then I took all the papers and scrunched them up. So he's trying to probably on the video, it looks like he's probably trying to look for a name. And some of you he does know, but not everybody. But it was just kind of funny. He was trying so hard, I think, to get those pieces of paper because they were so tiny, and I had scrunched them up. And so I pulled that out, and after I cut off the video, I said, did you look for the name? He goes, no, the one I pulled out actually was backwards. And I was like, it was so tiny, how could I get that? I was wondering if I could get it turned over without dropping. And so, yes, so that was kind of fun. I love giving away things. So I appreciate everybody that likes my page, and it was just something fun in the chaos, in the middle of the chaos. And thank you so much for those of you that have reached out, and that meant a lot to us. And my house kind of is freshly decorated with flowers now from the funeral too. So yeah, thank you. We're moving slowly ahead, put it that way. All right, enough of that. It's Monday. It's time to create for you. And here I have a very fun and simple pocket card. And I'm really excited to share this with you because it comes together super cute, super fun, super easy. Hi there, Pam. Hi, Kim. Let me get my camera moved over here. See, I've just been trying to clean up the stuff, put stuff away from vending this past weekend, and just, having a few extra people, here and there in the mix. And then just making sure my husband looked well and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, now I hope my craft room stays this clean. So we'll see. We'll see. Kind of feels good to move my camera around and not see a mess on the floor. That's all better too. All right, so here is my pocket card. Some of you like to do a screenshot of the, I call it the ingredients, because maybe it's because I like to cook. Okay, so that is the supply list. Here is the card. So I have a dear friend, Mary Nabe, and her and I are actually meeting up with my other Stampin' friend, Rolanda Patton, and we're going to Scotland later this fall. And so a lot of times people think like, are you demonstrators friends? Like, do you get along like it looks like when you're at events and videos and such? And so yes, like we really do. And so this is a true testament that like the three of us are going on a girls trip because our lives have, like, we've met each other through Stampin' Up, and it's not even a Stampin' Up event. And so this is something that Mary Nabe recently did, and I think it's well, I know it's the same designer series paper, but I have a different like backing. I chose a different pattern, but like I'm giving her the credit because I wouldn't be doing this unless I saw her card first and went, I want to make something like that. And I liked enough of the things to try and keep it the same as much as I could too. All right, so what we start with the pocket card, and I know some of you have done this before, but I always like to just kind of go like maybe if this is your first time seeing one or you're a new crafter, I like to kind of break things down to make it easy. So when you have your 8.5 by 11 and then you cut it in half to make it 4 1/4 by 11, then we have that same score as if you were doing a regular card. So I'm just going to fold that and then grab my bone folder like so. And then what I do is cut off 1 1/4 inches. So we've got 1 1/4 by 4 1/4, and that's this little piece here, which we will use. And then what I like to do next is just take some pretty paper, and this is from the Florals in Bloom 12 by 12. This is part of the sale. This paper has been around for over a year now, about probably 15 months or so, and I just think it's so pretty. Every time I use it in a class, people are like, oh, I like that. What is that? Or, you know, is it still available? That kind of stuff. And so I just don't know how much longer it's going to be available. So I'm like, oh, I better get this project going, especially with the paper sale. And I think I just saw a sneak peek. I was not able to have the time to look, but just this afternoon, I think they announced double rewards points for orders. So I will be getting more information out once I see what that means. And it looks like it starts Wednesday. So I wonder if it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. And I apologize for those of you that just placed an order. If it makes you feel better, I placed a very large order just this morning and went, oh, that's usually like how it happens. All right, so this piece here is, oh, let me just double check. I put it on, forgot to. I am just like not going to be, this isn't going to be my best quality video because I feel like my mind's like all over with telling you what's been happening, what's going to happen, and like with the business stuff and the double rewards and all that stuff. But that's why I thought I'm going to do an easy card. Okay, so the pretty paper is cut 4 by 4. So because it's 12 by 12, you just cut it down, and you can make several cards with that, and probably have no scraps if you do your math right, because the same piece of paper, as you can see, this is the same one, 4 by 2 inches. So before I glue this down, this is an important thing. Like sometimes I just make a card and I don't think about always how I do it in steps when it turns out right. But if you don't put this down first and you glue down your card, well, then you've got a little bit of a problem. So I won't mention names, but it did happen at the class. And then, not that it was the worst thing, because then it makes me go, oh, I need to tell people, put this little 2 by 4 inch piece in there before you glue down the sides. Otherwise, I mean, it'll still work and you can just tape it to the top here or glue it, and that's okay too. My next thing is I like to use glue for the edges, not the tape that I normally use here, and just kind of just the littlest, tiniest bit here. And so I'm just going to go down the sides, and obviously not across the bottom or anything, or that's going to glue that shut. So then I'm just going to take and then flip that over and give that a good press. And then that's just going to sit there for a second while I work on the cute little tag, or like note card, or whatever you want to say here. So this is actually, the measurements here are 3 1/4 by 5. Yep, so 3 1/4 by 5 inches. And then I don't know if you guys remember this, probably about, gosh, I wonder if that's also about a year ago, the hole punch assortment. comes as a 3-pack. So these are perfect for making these kinds of little tags. If you love to do Christmas tags to make your Christmas gifts look wonderful, this is also good. So this just puts like the little hole in there, or the little line. This is actually the one I'm using here just because I thought it would allow the most room movement to get some of that ribbon through. So that is that. And actually, not too long ago, too, there was a demonstrator that was taking cardstock strips and putting them around the ribbon here, and then putting that for the ribbon to go through, and it was like holding it in place. So a lot of you saw that. And when that happened, of course, like anything, it goes viral. And these were out of stock for the longest time. So I'm just kind of like using mine, because I was going to do that with all my ribbon, and don't we always wish, but then never have the time for that. Okay, so I'm just going to eye this to make sure it's like towards the top here, and you don't want to go more than like a 1/2 inch, so about 1/4 to a half an inch down from the top there. And the reason why you don't want to go more is then it's gonna just get in the pocket and you won't see it, and it won't be as cute as it should be. All right, so next I'm just going to take some of this ribbon, and this is Fresh Freesia seam binding. We have some really pretty, like kind of like sparkly Fresh Freesia ribbon also that's out, and I just thought this would be lighter in material to kind of make this project work. So if you think, gosh, I really like this, I want to copy it as exact, but I don't have that Fresh Freesia, don't worry, because you can still order and it'll still work. I just was using this thinking like it looked nice with the project too. All right, so then I'm just going to kind of take one of those hole punches like that, hold it down, and then I'm going to grab some white baker's twine here. So I'm just going to go like that. Oops, and just wrap it around. It's kind of like the diaper and the baby, just like trying to hold that still. All right, I'm going to give myself probably going to get some of this, give myself plenty of room, because I'm going to do something I don't do very often, and that is tie a bow. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of make a nice knot. Oops, there. Just to kind of cinch that ribbon. Now I can kind of let loose with that. And then I'm just going to tie a bow here. And I felt like it wasn't as hard, because I have something to tie it down to. It wasn't as hard as kind of tying it from scratch, just loose. This was more a shoe tie versus sometimes you have to tie the bow with a ribbon and it's just in your hand and then put it on your project like with a glue dot. So this wasn't bad at all. And then you can just kind of eye that to make it even on each side and be as long as you want to be. And then because this is a pocket card, then that's just going to go in the inside here like that. I'm not ready. We have 1 or 2 more steps. So I'm just going to give this a little bit more time for that glue to set. And so that's going to go in there. So let's work on the front. And this came together super easy. So thinking of you, this sentiment is, hi there, Marie. So Pam, the tape could get too wide. It's not terrible, but like I said, I just, here, I'll go like this. So you can see the tape, if you put it there, wouldn't be bad, or there, or even if you wanted to use and just go on the very edge, the, Seal Plus, because this is going to be sturdier too. I feel like the glue might be a little bit sturdier for when you're wanting to take and kind of pop that like so. That might be a little bit sturdier. So that's why I just thought if I show people the glue at my class and a little bit like of how not to be too much, that might be the safest bet. So I guess there is room for the tape. I just didn't want to get too reckless and get it too tight where this is harder to pull in and out of there. All right, good question though, very good question. So Fresh Freesia ink pad, and then the Thinking of You comes from that Scalloped Blooms stamp set, which I've been using a ton of that, a ton of the Scalloped Blooms dies too. So Fresh Freesia here. Oops, no. All right, so I'm putting this on basic white. So like into thinking like this is where we're going to use that extra strip here, you know. And so this extra strip that we cut was 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. So the white here is 1 inch by 4 inches. And then I'm just going to put some adhesive on here. Like, this project is so simple. It doesn't even use like glue dots or dimensionals or anything like that. Everything on it's flat like you could, but I just didn't feel like it needed to be. All right, so I'm just going to center that like so. And then, yeah, this is the part that I maybe would have popped up, or even maybe the thinking of you on there. But like I said, I like the flat look. And then depending on what your section looks like I want the most fresh freesia to show. So I'm going to put my thinking of you kind of down here, not up too far, because I don't want to cover up that nice fresh freesia flower like that. And disclaimer, these are retired, but if you have some of the rainbow adhesive back dots, these were the perfect softness that I was looking for. I did have some other options. And then if you have any of those like purple shimmer fine gems, those look kind of nice because they kind of coordinate with some of these littler flowers up there, or even some of our previous 24 through 26 in color shimmer gems. Sometimes when I'm doing my projects, most of the time I like to go with what's current, but every once in a while I'm like, you know what, I just like the look of this or that because it just looks soft. And I just thought that this embellishment added so much to the card. So I'm just gonna go with that. Gonna take like a big and a small on one side and then a big on the other. But yeah, I just liked kind of that matte finish of that there. So got that, and now this is ready. There's no like inside of the card or anything. This is the inside of the card, and now you can see that's easy to shimmy in and out, so that's kind of nice. And then I like that it shows up a little bit, you know, there too, so that people can definitely see that that's like the pull tag to pull it out and such. So if you even wanted to, like, besides writing your note, make this into like a gift card holder or something like that, you could put some glue dots and just, or sometimes when you get gift cards, they have kind of that sticky gooey backing. Like, you could just see if you can get some of that to stick on there too. So I thought, well, this would be just a fun card for that. And now, because I've made one, now I feel like every class I do, everybody needs to make a pocket card. Maybe I'll just change out more into the fall colors going forward or something like that. But I thought it was so fun. Now I just want to use all my pretty papers to make pocket cards. I don't know if you guys are going to feel that way now once you make one also. All right, so that is what I have for you guys today. My goal is to come to you often this week if I can and show you some more designs that I've been up to while working behind the scenes to get ready for Fairmont Stamp Camp, because that is already next week Thursday, and my list is really looking great for people signing up, so I'm excited about that too. So let me know if you haven't signed up and need to for Fairmont next week Thursday, Stamp Camp there. Otherwise, just join me here if you're able to, and I will keep giving you some fun ideas. Take care. Bye-bye.